Greetings, boys and girls. In today's video, we're going to be discussing profit. Now, profit is, you could think of it as how much money that you have after you made money doing something, and then you paid for everything it took to make that money. Okay? So, if I am going to have a lemonade stand, I have to buy my lemons, I have to buy my sugar, I might even have to buy my plastic cups. And so I figure out how much money did I make at the end of the day. That's my revenue or my earnings. And then I'm going to subtract from that how much money I spent so that I can make that lemonade. So how much money did I spend for my lemons, my sugar, and my plastic cups? I'm going to subtract that. And the amount that I have left is going to be my profit. Now, we really want our profit to always be positive. Sometimes you end up losing money. You don't make enough money afterwards. But in today's scenarios, we are going to be making money. We will have a positive profit. And we're going to get into our first problem. So for our first problem, you see I have these beautiful strawberries, some sugar, and some lemons. And I'm going to be making some jam. Okay, so I'm going to be making jars of jam that I will then sell. I'm going to sell my jars of jam for $5.50, and my goal is to sell 21 jars. So what I want to know is how much profit am I going to make after I sell 21 jars of jam for $5.50. Well, as you can see on my paper, I have things set up. I have the first section is my expenses. I want to see how much am I going to spend to make this jam. My next section, I have the income. That's where I'm going to figure out how much money will I make if I sell all 21 jars for $5.50. And then my final category is my profit. And this is where I am going to take my earnings and I'm going to subtract from it my expenses. So the first thing I want to do is I want to add up all of my expenses. Okay, so I'm going to just add these values up. 9 plus 5 is 14, and then 14 plus another 9 would be 23. I'll write my start this up. This is the hundredth place, but I put my 3 down here, carry my 2. 2 plus 6 is 8. 8 plus 7 would be 15. 15 plus 2 would be 17. I'm going to just confirm that again. 8 plus 7 is 15. 15 plus 2 is 17. Put my 7 down here, and I regroup the 1. Now I have 1 plus 4, that's 5. 5 plus 4 would be 9. 9 plus 3 would be 12. I get to carry my last one. 1 plus 2 is 3. So now I see my total expenses. My total expenses are going to be $32.73. Okay, so now that I've figured out how much it's going to take me to make this money, now I want to see how much money am I going to make after selling all 21 jars for $5.50. Okay, so I'm thinking if each jar costs $5 or is going to cost someone $5.50 to buy, I'm going to multiply 21 times $5.50. Placeholder 0. Now I'm multiplying by 2. 2 times 0 is 0. 2 times 5 is 10. Carry my 1. 2 times 5 is 10 plus 1 is 11. I'm going to add up my values. 0 plus 0 is 0. 5 plus 0 is 5. 5 plus 0 is 5. 1 plus nothing is 1. So now my decimal point was over 2 places in the top number, so I make sure I put my decimal point over 2 places. So my total earnings were $115.50. That is more than my expenses. So I made more money than I spent trying to make this money. So to find my profit, I am going to simply take my total earnings of $115.50, and I'm going to subtract from that my total expenses, which were $32.73. So now I'm going to subtract. 0 minus 3, I can't do that, so I come over here, I make this 5 a 4, make my 0 a 10, 10 minus 3 is 7. 4 minus 7, I can't do that. I go next door, take 1 from that 5, that becomes a 4, and now I have 14 minus 7, that's 7. Bring my decimal down. 4 minus 2 is 2. 1 minus 3, can't do that. Come over here, make that a 0. Now I have 11 minus 3. That's 8. And so I see that my profit, my total profit, is $82.77. So that's how much money that I really made after I took my expenses out. That, again, is called my profit. All right. Make sure you jot this down. Hey! So, my name is Victoria J. I am owner of Victoria J. Productions. I take pictures of people for a living. And so it's really exciting. I have this client getting ready to take pictures for my client, and actually I already did the photos for the client. And they had a wedding. I charged $3,200 for each of my weddings, and for that price they get a disc of images as well as a really nice photo album with thick pages. Okay, isn't this nice? Yeah, look at that. Look at that. So this album right here, this one cost me $527. I take the pictures, but then I send off for it to get printed. If you notice, we had all of this nice texture. So that's why this is a $527 album. And then this image, you see it's laser printed on the disc. I put all their pictures on this disc. I have to send off for them to give me this laser printed image. So this cost me $15. So anyway, I make $3,200, but whenever I shoot somebody's wedding, I always have a second photographer because I cannot possibly catch every single image just by myself. So my second photographer, I pay them a flat rate of $500 every time that we have a wedding, and because I want really good equipment, I have my camera, but I also rent a second camera with lens and all of that stuff. So the camera equipment that I rent is an extra $185. Okay? So what I want to do now is I want to figure out what profit do I make off that $3,200. A lot of times when I tell people, oh yeah, I shoot weddings for $3,000, it sounds like a lot, but after you see the things I have to pay for, it's not $3,000 anymore. So the first thing I want to do is I want to figure out how much are all of my expenses. So I want to add these amounts together. I don't really want to add four numbers at one time. I'm going to add 2 numbers at one time. I can add these two in my head. $500 plus $185 would be $685. Okay? And then if I add these two together, 5 plus 7 is 12, carry my 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 plus 2 would be 4. So this would be $542 just for these two. So now I'm going to add the $685 plus the $542. Start on the left. 5 plus 2 is 7. 8 plus 4 is 12, carry my 1. 1 plus 6 is 7, plus 5 would make 12. So my total expenses are $1,227. Now, I don't really have to do anything extra for my earnings because I just made a flat rate of $3,200 from the wedding. Now I'm able to move on to my profit. To find my profit, I take my earnings or revenue or income, and I'm going to subtract from that my actual expenses, all added up. So I'm subtracting from that $1,227. I'll put my dollar signs on here. Okay, Now my profit is $1,973. Again, it looks really exciting to think that I made $3,200 off of the wedding. But when you look at my expenses, which were a little over $1,200, I'm only left with $1,973. All right, boys and girls, take a moment and jot this down. Remember, you can always press pause on the video if I'm going too fast. Hey, Miss Payne here, and I am doing my tutoring service. This is my summer tutoring service, and for this, I tutor 4 kids over the course of a month. And I will be working with each kid for 12 hours. And during that time, I'll charge $25 an hour. Now, I have some expenses. I have to have logins for IXL. Oh, let's get IXL going. Oh, there it is. So each kid needs to be able to log on to IXL. And also I'm going to have to make photocopies and things, papers, you know how we do. So I'm going to spend $21.95 for the IXL logins for each kid, for all 4 kids, and then $24.72 for all of the paper copies that I'm going to have to make, since I do this on my own time. So I want to figure out how much profit I am going to make from my tutoring services this summer. So to do that, what I would want to do is I would want to first calculate my expenses. How much money am I going to spend? Well, I know I have to pay for IXL and I have to pay for my paper supplies, all my photocopies. So I'm going to add these 2 dollar amounts. 5 plus 2 is 7. 9 plus 7 is 6. Carry my 1. Don't forget to bring down my decimal point. 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 plus 4 is 6. 2 plus 2 is 4. So my total expenses are going to be $47.67. Now I will need to calculate my income. How much money am I going to make during this time? So I am tutoring 4 students. Each student is going to be tutored for 12 hours. So I can first figure out how many hours I'm working with. I have 4 students. Each student gets 12 hours. So that means I'm going to have 4 times 12, which equals 48 hours that I'm tutoring for. And now, for those 48 hours, I'm going to make $25 each hour. 48 hours, $25 each hour. I am multiplying 48 times 25 to figure out how much that is. Now, I can do that mentally in my head, but for our sake, I want to just multiply this. I will use the box method this time to multiply 48 times 25. Okay, 20 times 40 is 800. 20 times 8, 160. 40 times 5, well I know 4 times 5 is 20, add a 0 to the end, 200. And then 5 times 8 is 40. To find my product, I will add all of the values in this box together. 800 plus 200 plus 160. So when I'm adding up my partial product, 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 is 0. 0 plus 0 plus 6 plus 4 is 10. Carry my 1. 1 plus 8 is 9. 9 plus 2 is 11. 11 plus 1 would be 12. So now I'm noticing that I will make a profit of $1,200. Okay? Now, did I say a profit? I'm not making a profit of $1,200. I'm making an earning. I'm earning $1,200. To figure out my profit, I have to get rid of my expenses. I have to pay for this. So I'm going to take out these expenses. So I would now say $1,200, and I want to subtract from that $46.67. Now what I don't want to do is I don't want to start lining my $46 right up underneath this 1. Because even though $1,200 doesn't have a decimal point, I know I can add one. And I'm going to add my 2 zeros so that now, point under point, I can put my 67 cents under here and then my $46 under here. Now I can subtract. This is so important. Many people will miss this step because they don't realize they need to add their decimal point. Now I am really subtracting across the zeros. Look at all these zeros I have in a row. When I get ready to say 0 minus 7, I can't do that. But look, I'm going to put a box around all of these other zeros, 1, 2, 3 zeros, and the 2, so that I can think of this as 2,000, and I'm taking 1 away from 2,000, which would be 1,999, and now I can make this a 10. Okay? So 10 minus 7 would be 3. 9 minus 6 would be 3. Ooh, I get to bring my decimal point down. 9 minus 6, 3 again. 9 minus 4 is 5. 1 minus nothing is 1. And then that 1 minus nothing is 1. So you can see my profit from my tutoring business would be $1,153.33. I'm going to give you a few moments to go ahead and jot that down. Remember, you can always press pause in the video if you need more time. Alright, when we looked at this problem, you noticed that the profit was $1,153.33. Remember, that was after 48 hours, which would have been accumulated over the course of 1 month. Okay? Now, on paper, $1,153, it does sound like a lot. But if you think about an entire month and you think about expenses, you know, someone has living expenses, how much does it cost for your rent or your mortgage? How much does it cost for your groceries? How much does it cost for your car? So keep in mind when we're looking at some of these profits, just try and realize about how much that is. So a friend of mine told me, if that's how much I'm making after 1 month, I need to get a second job. All right, we're going to get on to our last scenario, so stay tuned. Oh, Lala. I didn't even notice you were here. Hey, how are you doing? Just working on this here painting. Trying to get a few more of these done. Yeah, this is my masterpiece. I know it's quite masterful. Well, they call me Picasso Pain because I am like the Picasso of paintings. So anywho, I am really working towards this goal. I want to make $500 profit. And I'm like looking weird because I didn't have my marker. Okay, so I want to make $500 profit. And let me tell you about my expenses. Y'all, I just spent a whole lot of money trying to get ready for these. Look at these brushes. Look at this paint, right? So I just got a set of 20 canvases. This here is a canvas. I already started working on this one. But I got a set of 20 because that's how they came. And those were $44.89. And then I got this master paint brush and paint set. And look at that. Look at how much that set me back. Are you catching that number? If you didn't know, that's actually a lot of money for some paint and some paintbrushes. But these are great paints. And these are great paintbrushes. You can hardly see my yellow. That's how you know how great it is. See that? You have to look really hard because I put the blue down first. Anyway. So this is the dealio. I'm going to sell this masterpiece when it's all done at some point in life. I'm going to sell this for $70. $70, okay? And each masterpiece that I do, I'm going to sell for $70. Now, I'm trying to figure out how many of my masterpieces do I have to sell so that I can have a profit of $500? So I'm pretty much going to have to work backwards to figure this one out. Because I want to have $500 after I take all of my earnings and I subtract all of my expenses. Okay? So let's try and work backwards to solve it. So I know that earnings minus expenses, I'm going to label this expenses, I want that to equal $500. So my goal is $500. So let me first figure out this line, the expenses. I'm going to add these up. 9 plus 1 is 10. Carry my 1. 1 plus 8 is 9 plus 2 is 11. Carry my 1. Don't forget my decimal. 1 plus 4 is 5 plus 1 is 6. 4 plus 3 is 7. 2 plus nothing is 2. So I have $276.10 in expenses. So I know that I'm going to have a big number, and I'll subtract this, and I'll get 500. So that tells me that my big number has got to be this plus this. Okay? So now I'm going to add these up. So I'm adding 500 plus 276 to figure out how much, $276.10 to figure out how much my earnings are. Okay? So when I add these up, I had $776.10. So that means I need to make at least this much. It's okay if I make more, but I have to make at least that much. So that I can have a profit of $500. So from here, I now need to figure out how many paintings will I need to sell to make $776.10. So I can simply do this as a division problem. And I can think of how many times does 70 go into $776.10. Now the good news is I'm working with 70, which is like 7 with a 0 at the end. So 70 goes into 77, first two numbers, one time. Oh, sorry, one time, yes. So then that would be 70. I subtract 77 minus 70. I have 7, and I bring my 6 down. 70 goes into 76 one time. So I'm going to subtract 70 again. Okay? Now I have a decimal. And there's something left over. Now this is one of those times when I'm going to pause, because I want to think about this number. This number is telling me how many paintings she's going to need to do. I'm going to do 11 paintings and some change. Well, what's some change of a painting? There is no change of a painting. I have to do another painting. Okay? How do I know that? Because I still have something left over past this decimal. So I'm going to go to the next painting. So now let's imagine we were at 11 paintings. If she does 11 paintings, 70 times 11, well, that's just like 7 times 11 with a 0 at the end. That would be $770. That's not enough because I have to make $776. So now I'm going to go to the next painting because I had something left over. 70 times 12. 12 paintings. So how much money would I make off of 12 paintings? Well, 12 times 7 is 84, and I add my 0 to the end. Okay? So if I only did 11 paintings, I would only make $770, and I would be short of my $500 profit by $6.10. So I'd have to do the next painting, which would be 12 paintings, and I'm going to be well over that. I'm going to make more than $500 in profit. But the question was, how many paintings will she have to sell to make a $500 profit? And the answer to that is 12 paintings. I hope this made sense as we worked out this problem. Make sure that you take good notes and you wrote down what you needed to write down as well. Boys and girls, in today's video, we discussed profit. And we found profit by calculating the expenses someone had to pay for to start making money, and then we took the amount of money that they made. That was called their income or their revenue or their earnings. And we took the earnings or income and we subtracted from that the expenses. And what we had left over was our profit. Now, this is a real life skill that you're going to want to know, because if any of you ever decide to start a business, most likely you will have some expenses. And even though you're going to charge a certain amount for your service, you're going to have to take out that expense. You're going to be paying for that. And you'll want to make sure you have enough money afterwards, enough profit, so that you can live off of that. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video and meeting so many of these interesting entrepreneurs. Until we meet again.